Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I have the pleasure to be joined by Nico Leivars. Nico, how are you today, mate?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Thanks for having a chat with me and coming down to the gym.
No problem, mate. Obviously a bit of a long drive for me, but all the better to watch you guys kind of train and spar. I mean, tough session in here on a Monday, but how was that for you, mate?
No, it's it's always good to start the week off hard. I think we've got about 12, 13 rounds in work total, and we're in the last sort of stage of camp now, so this is probably the last hard week. So it's good to start the week with a good hard session and then obviously taper it off as we get close to fight night, but everything feels good.
Definitely, mate. Obviously, before we get into fight night, I do want to touch on your 2023. Obviously, a bit of a annoying start. Obviously, you just said infection on fight week, but then you finished 2023 with those two really impressive performances at the back end. I mean, sum up your 2023 for me, mate.
Yeah, a bit of a bad start, like you said. Through all the hard work of a camp, and the camp that actually started during Christmas as well. I was actually on holiday in Egypt with my family when I got the call saying, you're on the wood undercard. Did all the camp, really looking forward to it, looking really good. And then on fight week, I got a chest infection and got put on antibiotics. I still turned up to the public workout and to the hotel on fight week, but I just didn't have it in me. And luckily I've got a good team behind me that knew my health was more important than what fighting that week was, and pulled me out at the right time. And like you said, we put it right towards the end of the year. I fought Matos, which was the opponent I was meant to fight on that card, so I still fought the same lad. Two good wins against two lads that actually had better records than me as well, so thrown into the deep end a bit, but I knew that's what I needed to make up for lost time.
Definitely, mate. I don't want to touch on that Matos win. Obviously, as you said, you were meant to fight him on the wood undercard. You just mentioned that a few of his fans were giving you a bit of grief as well. Is it kind of a bit more motivation when you're getting a bit of that grief? Obviously, we saw Junaid had a bit of a spicy build up to his fight with Gordy Russ as well. Does that kind of motivate you a bit more?
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, I felt for him because it was no fault of my own. He'd actually arrived in England when the fight got called off, because it was only about 3 days before. Like I was at the hotel on fight week, so I did feel for him. But then obviously I kept getting like messages and comments on all my posts and everything. And I said to my manager straight away, I said, make sure you get that lad back for round 2, because I'm gunning for him there. And that's why I ended up doing the old Matador thing, a bit of shithousery when I did end up fighting him. Just a little bit in the back of my mind. It's hard because you try not to let it emotionally drain you and get in your head, because I think sometimes that can make you do things you shouldn't be doing and make you lose control of the game plan. But no, there was a little bit of added spice there, definitely for me, but I think that helped me, if anything, 'cause it made me really get up for it. And during that camp, he ended up fighting a 5-0 prospect in Spain who beat good lads, and he'd beat him as well. So he was coming in really good form, so I had to really be on my game. So not only was I fighting an undefeated prospect who'd fought winning records, he had a better record than me. He had a point to prove on his big occasion, so it really spurred me on.
Definitely did, mate. Also, and then we'll move on to now. Obviously, you're back out March 23rd. I mean, Dalton's undercard. I was just saying to Dalton there, it's such a big fight for Dalton, but you're on there, you're fighting Peter Mirga, I think his name is. Sorry, Peter, if I got your name wrong there. But, a solid opponent, obviously, and like I've just said to you before this interview, you're moving quickly and kind of stepping up levels that not many people are at after 6 fights.
No, I've actually had a few people say they didn't realise I'd only had 5, and I don't know whether that's a compliment or not, but yeah, we're moving fast, but we're moving it the right way. I think, I don't want to be active but not gaining anything from the activity, because I think sometimes it's all well and good padding up a record doing 4 or 6 rounders, but if you're not really pushing yourself in and out of the gym, I don't really see the point in it. Every fight for me, I've pushed myself and I've gained something from it and learned, and I think that's made me develop even more coming into the next fight. And coming into this one, it's a 10-rounder, which I've been training hard for, sparring 10 rounds with fresh opponents, sparring, bigger, heavier lads, really pushing myself, doing all the rounds in the gym, doing all the runs, and feeling really good for it. And I'm not taking Peter Mirga lightly at all. I'm treating him as if he's the fight of my life.
Definitely, mate. Obviously, we saw him lose a decision to Ramez Mahmoud, but obviously Ramez, I think he's got a better record. He's a better fighter than his record probably suggests. I think he done it. I think, in my opinion, he had a fight of the year with Jordan Perkis last year as well. But kind of, what do you know of Peter Mirga as well?
I think the saying records are for DJs is a very apt saying, because I think sometimes you can say, he lost to him and he's got a better record and so, but I never really worry about that. I just look at the opponent I've got and just analyse them for what they are and the performances. And he's a very tidy, very good boxer. You know, I'm giving him full credit for that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he's lost to so and so, so he's not good. Like, no, he's a very tidy boxer, and I've got a lot of respect to him going into it. I'm not going to underestimate him in any way whatsoever.
Definitely, mate. And obviously, you touched on kind of it's a 10-rounder as well. Kind of in the back end of 2024, would you like to kind of go up into title contention and pick up a title in your next couple of fights?
That's the plan, definitely. You know, you never, like I say, you never overlook what's in front of you, and you never divert your attention from what you've got to do first. And I'm not, but I know things are set up after to definitely achieve that.
Definitely, mate. Well, we look forward to seeing it. I just want to touch on your activity. Obviously, we did mention a kind of the injuries and the illness at the beginning of 2023. Obviously, you've had injuries in the past, but is 2024 the year kind of Nico Leivars kind of puts those injury doubts to bed and kind of pushes on in his career?
Sometimes you just have bad luck, don't you? I had 6 months of terrible luck, kept mentally strong, kept in the gym, worked as well as I could have, got them behind me, and now I'm flying. It's just, things happen in life, don't they? And you know, I was probably due an injury. I've not been injured for about 15 years, so I was just shut up and take it, recovered from it, all well and good now, and cracking on in 2024.
Definitely, mate. And you remember not injured in 15 years and did actually fight in the amateurs for 2 countries as well. So I'll make sure everyone reminds that. Nico, that was my final one, mate. Any final words for all the fans kind of eagerly anticipating your return on March 23rd?
Thank you very much, as always. You know, not just for the past 2 years, but many of them have been behind me since I was an amateur. And you know, thank you very much for everything. And up the Stags.
Up the Stags, and the only man brave enough to walk out to Coldplay as well. So yeah, shout out Nico Leivars. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.